Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo, and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.
Welcome.
What's going on, man?
I am swell. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. We finally got a win.
You know what? Let's get some horns for the 49ers real quick. Let's get some. Throw a little shot in there. I don't know if that was appropriate or not, but this is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B.
All right, so again, it's a new week. Well, a new week for us. It's the middle of the week for everybody else. And the NFL season is just around midway. What we're gonna do next week? I guess I'll announce it now. Next week, we're gonna have Jamal and Marcus come on here, and we're gonna go over some of our preseason picks and see, where they stand. Because, I think I'm doing pretty good, man. I think I'm doing all right. What's up?
Well, I'll say that for next week. So you're probably doing better than I am. With some of my picks. Some of my picks are just straight duds, but we'll go over that next week. But I will remind you of the Bears.
Y'all not gonna let me live that down, huh?
Nah, we're not gonna let you live that down at all. No. You can't let the Bears down. But anyway, man, let's get into it, man.
All right.
So this is week 10 of football, right? Coming up. That was just week 9.
No. This is
that's week 11. Yeah,
week 11 coming up. Yeah. So we're not gonna go through every game. It's some notable games. The crazy thing is, I'm actually pretty interested in seeing what happens with this New England Atlanta game, because Thursday football games are really, they're iffy, right? Because both teams normally coming off of a game 3 or 4 days earlier, and Atlanta got their boots smoked. I'm not gonna say about who. I think everybody knows who smoked Atlanta's boots, but I think that don't be surprised if Atlanta makes this game close and possibly wins this game.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. So here's the deal about Atlanta, and a lot of people will disagree with me. You don't know what you're going to get from week to week. Right. They can either blow you out or they can get blown out. Matt Ryan, I don't want to say he's inconsistent, because he's not inconsistent, but sometimes like he gets on and the offense gets on. I don't want to say and they figure it out. And then you have some weeks like this week against Dallas, and now Dallas was playing pretty good football. They had a lot of incentive to go out there and kick Atlanta's butt just because they had been embarrassed the week before. So, we knew that Dak Prescott and those guys weren't going to lay 2 duds, but Atlanta could have had a better performance. The Patriots, that was a very convincing win against the Browns. But are you like sold on the Patriots because of that Browns victory?
Am I sold? Nah, I think that I'm not sold yet. I mean, it's easy to say they could have just had a good week and the Browns had an off week, right? I don't think we should just say, because I've heard it. Some people saying New England could possibly make the Super Bowl, and I was like, come on, man, let's not get crazy, right? Like, there's a reason why no rookie has ever played in the Super Bowl. and in 10 weeks we're gonna be like, damn, New England has a chance to make the Super Bowl. But right now, I don't think that they're gonna win their division.
So let me ask you, Tom Brady, that was his second year, or that was his?
He wasn't a rookie.
He wasn't a rookie. Okay.
Yeah, it was either his second or third year. But they're playing good football. Like they won 4 in a row, and Mac Jones looks like, I mean, he was a little inconsistent or off early in the season, but he was a rookie. I think people will place these super high expectations for some of these quarterbacks, and if you're not in the right situation, you're gonna struggle early, and then as the season goes on, you're either gonna show some progress or you're gonna stink it up. And right now, I think these rookies are not well. Zach Wilson is hurt, and he's and I think the jury's still out if he's in the right situation or not. We'll see what the Jets do to put talent around him. Mac Jones is clearly in the right situation. Trey Lance, we don't know. We don't know because he was hurt and he showed a little bit of a flash. And you have you know, my rookie of the year. Justin Fields. And I'm not gonna say that he's showing promise, right? I don't think that there's anyone that can say that Justin Fields doesn't look like he can play ball in the, on the NFL level, you know. So you know, they haven't won, but I think the last 2 games that he played, I want to say it was San Francisco and Pittsburgh, right? He looked like an NFL quarterback. He looked like he could play football in the NFL and be successful. Now they have to get some more help, mainly on the O-line, but he looks like an NFL quarterback. Why are you making that face like you don't agree with me?
I mean, every quarterback that comes out there looks like an NFL quarterback. I mean, looked like an All-Pro the week before last. I mean, so I think with Justin Fields, he's the guy, and they should have drafted him. But let's give him a little bit more of an opportunity to prove himself. I mean, I've seen him, and I mean, he's okay. Like he's all right. I mean, I didn't look at him and say this guy is going to change the direction of my franchise. I didn't. I'm just seeing a good quarterback, and then, like you said, they're going to have to coach him up. They're going to have to get pieces around him. They're going to have to be patient with him, and we'll see where it goes from there. I didn't see the guy that you were clamoring for, saying like, you know what, this guy gets in there, he's gonna make Matt Nagy the coach of the year or any of that. I just saw a rookie that has an opportunity. I do feel like he's the best quarterback on that staff, and he's gonna have to develop. That's it.
Oh, well, of course. Like Tom Brady had to develop after he won the Super Bowl. It wasn't like, you know, he was dink and dunk Tom when he won the Super Bowl. You know, he wasn't throwing the ball down the field. He was throwing 3-yard passes, and guys were getting 14, 15, 16 yards a pop, you know, after the catch. You know, it wasn't until, you know, 4 or 5 years later where he really was throwing the ball down the field. You know, I'm not saying that Justin Fields is an all-pro right now, but what I'm saying is he doesn't just look like a regular quarterback right now. He looks like a quarterback that can ascend and be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Now, of course, they have to get him some help and some protection, but he looked damn good, man.
so this is what I give you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he looks like he deserves 3 years. So we're going to use the Josh Allen rule, right? You know, because Josh Allen, the first couple of years didn't look so hot. Around year 3 is when it just really started to click for him. So I'll give Fields 3 years. I think if you're patient enough, and they put the right pieces with him, he could be successful. Zach Wilson, I did not get the impression that he should get 3 years when he was healthy. And that might be an early assessment. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I didn't get the
You'll be wrong again if you bet against him. No, I'm joking. That was a Jay-Z bar. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it just I don't know. Baker Mayfield, he's kind of beat up a little bit, and he's been injured, so I got to give him somewhat of a pass. But I didn't see that he deserved 3 years. And right now,
Time out. Yo, he broke Andrew Luck's record as a rookie. I think that people take Baker Mayfield for granted, right? And I'm not trying to say because I know what you're gonna say. Oh, that's your secret team. Blah blah blah.
No. I'm not gonna say that.
So I think that people take Baker Mayfield for granted. The year before he got drafted, how many games did the Browns win?
See, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going in that direction. Okay. What I'm going to say with him is what I see is he's an average quarterback, and he's going to be an average quarterback in this league. I don't think he's going to be a superstar. I think that, and when I say average quarterback, right? So the Browns have had a history of having below average quarterbacks. So for him to be average, that's the bar is pretty low, right? So he's out there. He's going to do what he needs to do. The bar is low in Cleveland.
It is. It's funny to hear it. The bar is low in
the bar is extremely low. I mean, right now, Baker Mayfield is trending maybe like Kirk Cousins. Maybe like a Kirk Cousins or.
He about to get paid then.
Yeah, he'll get paid. I'm trying to think of another quarterback that he might that's just that'll get the job done. Maybe like a Tyrod Taylor,
Byron Leftwich.
I'm trying to think of none are really coming to mind right now, but it's maybe a Ryan Fitzpatrick.
No, stop, Scott. No.
I mean, no. Fitzpatrick get the job done. He's gotten the job done, and he give you average, mediocre play. I mean, that's what Baker Mayfield is now, and people just don't want to move on that. They want to think that this guy is the next superstar. He's not. He's an average, decent quarterback that if you put in there, he can make a throw if he's got to make a throw. And he's not going to lose you the game because he's going to make some decent decisions, and that's what you're going to get. I mean, if he's got to make a third down throw, he's capable of making that throw. He's not necessarily going to be able to bring you from behind. You know, he's not the guy that is going to light it up, and you're going to say, you know what, we need you to get us 350, 400 yards passing, throw 3 touchdowns. Like he's not that guy. But
he doesn't need to be that guy with this team.
No. And being an average quarterback is not a super bad thing. You know what I mean? Average is, I said he was a bottom of the 10, bottom, bottom quarter.
No, you said like bottom 5.
Yeah, I said like bottom 5. Okay, so I'll go back on that, and I'll say that he's right there, like where you guys had him, like maybe top 25 or something like that, like in that range.
Scott, that's the same thing.
That's average. Like 25 to like
25 is not average for the NFL.
25
15 is okay, but 25.
He's probably like 20. He's probably like 20, like 25.
No.
Yeah, that's like average, man.
Scott, yo. Oh my gosh, there's not 25 quarterbacks in the league better than Baker Mayfield right now.
Okay, maybe
he may not be playing the greatest.
Maybe 20.
I think you have to have him
around. You can name 20.
20 quarterbacks. I know you better than no.
You sure?
Right? No, there's not 20 quarterbacks in the NFL better than Baker Mayfield. No.
You sure you can't name 20? You can't give me 20.
20 quarterbacks better than Baker Mayfield right now in the NFL?
I want to do this. All right, we'll start Russell. That's one, right?
Wait, who you say?
I said Russell Wilson.
Okay.
This one. Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
That's two. Mahomes.
Of course.
That's three, right? Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
That's four. Dak Prescott.
Okay.
That's five. Tom Brady.
Well, duh.
Okay. Matt Ryan.
Let's start that.
You don't think Matt Ryan is better than Baker Mayfield?
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean, Baker's one more, but I guess you're not going to count the wins. So
okay.
I mean, but you said this is your list. This is your list.
Yeah, you can start. You can start Matt Ryan. So
yeah, but this is your list. That's 7.
That's 7. Okay, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, that's 8.
Burrow.
We'll start at because Baker outperformed them the last time they played. So I mean, they just played 2 weeks ago, and Baker played better than them.
You don't think Burrow is better than Baker Mayfield?
Well, here's the thing, and you're at 8. This is your list, but when you have a head-to-head matchup, right? When you have a head-to-head matchup, performance counts, and Baker Mayfield clearly outplayed Joe Burrow.
Okay,
and that was recent.
Okay, so it's opinion based. You don't think Derek Carr is better?
Huh? Derek, yes,
you don't think Derek Carr is
right now? I think they're on the same wavelength, but
okay. What about Josh Allen?
Come on, yes, Josh Allen is better.
Okay. What about Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray, yeah.
Okay. So what is that, like 13?
Yeah.
I personally would rather have Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yo, stop it. Stop it, Scott. Stop
Baker Mayfield?
What?
The Baker Mayfield?
I'd rather have Baker Mayfield than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay. You wouldn't rather have so here's where it gets a little dicey.
You gonna say Cam Newton?
Huh?
You gonna say Cam Newton?
Well, he was there. So it's some people that I would rather have.
Okay.
But I don't know if you could say that they're better. So Big Ben, I would prefer to have him. But
wait. Right now?
He's hurt.
They're both hurt.
I would rather have Big Ben in that Cleveland offense than Baker. I would take Big Ben.
So here's the thing. That pass, that deep pass that Baker Mayfield threw to Peoples Jones against the Bengals, Roethlisberger can't make that throw anymore. He can't throw the ball down the field anymore.
Okay. I'd rather have Kirk Cousins.
Trying to win, or you just
yeah, I would rather have Kirk Cousins. I mean, if I could have him.
Hey, watch this. Oh, before you continue, I just want to see. This is what I love the guys that tune in and chime in. Look at Abdul. He says winning is a team sport. And then because I brought up that Baker Mayfield beat. Then he says this. Hey, are you kidding me?
Jimmy is the winner when he's healthy.
But here's the thing: you can't say winning. Hold on.
Listen,
hold on. You can't say winning is a team sport, and then throw out there that Jimmy's a winner when healthy.
Baker's a winner when he's healthy.
Baker's a winner when he's healthy. I mean, he should have beat Kansas City twice, and he didn't. But he was a lot closer than well, it was about the same that year. But
I've digressed. But so we'll leave it here.
I think he's middle of the pack.
I'll leave it here. That was a solid 18. That was a solid 18.
You bumped that number up.
No, it wasn't. You could like count them. That was a solid 18.
All right, we'll round up to 18 then, because I don't know.
Yeah, Cam Newton is an honorable mention. I mean, you could argue either way. I mean, some people would definitely. I'm not going to get disrespectful and say that Mac Jones or Tua or Justin
Daniel
Fields
Jones or Daniel Jones.
I think you could argue Daniel Jones. I wouldn't. I think I would rather have Baker Mayfield than Daniel Jones, but I can guarantee you there's some Giants fans that would rather have Daniel Jones than Baker Mayfield.
They're a damn lie. They're a damn lie.
Oh, how you gonna call him a damn lie?
If they say they'd rather have Daniel Jones than Baker Mayfield, they lying. Daniel Jones, they've had Daniel Jones for what, 3 years now? Or 3 years? And they got nothing.
Daniel Jones has also not been in the same situation as Baker Mayfield either.
How?
You know what? I'm not even going to front. If somebody was to tell me that they would rather have Daniel Jones than Baker Mayfield, I might hear him out.
Oh, I'll hear him out, but I won't believe him. You got to do a lot of convincing to say that you'd rather have Daniel Jones than Baker Mayfield. You got to do a lot of convincing.
Well, how about this? I'll leave it here, right? I'm not trying to convince you that I would rather have Daniel Jones than Baker Mayfield. I love him. Yeah. I left him off my list. Like, nah, I'm good.
All right, so we got to talk about it. Cowboys Chiefs, and then we'll leave football alone for a little bit. Cowboys Chiefs. What are your thoughts going into that game? I know you probably should be asking me what are my thoughts, but I'm gonna give you my thoughts after I hear your thoughts. I already have my thoughts, but what are your thoughts?
So this is going to shock you. I think the Cowboys could beat the Chiefs. Even though Mahomes had a really good game last game, I like what the Dallas defense is doing. Now, I am very tempted to play them against the Chiefs. Well, I picked up Tennessee. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation. I think Dallas could beat the Chiefs. So the defense is doing what it needs to do, right? It's a very opportunistic defense that capitalizes on mistakes. And Dallas has a really good offense that's balanced, right? You know, they got the receivers, they got the tight ends, the O-line is clicking, they got the running backs. And that Chiefs defense is not that good. So I would bet so I think Dallas has the weapons and the team that could keep up with the Chiefs offensively. And then the edge defensively goes to Dallas. So I think they can get it done. I do. I don't know why. I should be against them, but I feel like they can get it done.
Wow. Huh. Okay.
What do you think? You think they're going to lose?
No, I don't. But I don't want to say that I have cause of concern. I do have some concern in certain areas. I think that the front is going to have to play. I think the defensive front is going to have to play mistake-free football. And when I say I'm talking about the stupid stuff like the offsides, the cheap shots, things like that. Because if they can get pressure, some sort of pressure on Mahomes without having to blitz, it's gonna be a good game for that defense. You know, the Raiders are stuck in their ways, right? And they're stupid because the way or the formula that a lot of the teams showed in the early parts of the season were go too high. The Raiders are a cover 3 team, and I get it, but clearly cover 2 gives or too high defense gives the Chiefs problems. The Raiders went with their single high and things like that, and they didn't adjust, and then they made stupid mistakes because it was a close game at one point, and then it just snowballed. But if the Cowboys, because the thing is, like, you're right. If there's a team that can keep the pace with the Chiefs offense, is the Cowboys. And so I think that the Chiefs are gonna have a problem because Dallas is gonna run the same formula. If you stack the box, we got more than enough weapons to pass the ball, and Dak plays well against the blitz. He does. He plays well against the blitz.
Let me
Uh-huh.
ask you this, because I think you're right, but I want to ask you this before I lose my train of thought.
Okay.
The Washington football team versus the Bucs. What are your thoughts on that game? Did you see that coming?
No. I mean, it screwed up. It screwed up my parlay. It screwed up my picks for the day. I didn't think that. Well, here's the thing. The early interceptions, whatever. Those happen sometimes. But the fact that the Washington football team they held the ball for 9 or 11 minutes to close out the game is crazy. The fact that you couldn't get one stop and they were able to close out the game just running the ball and converting third and fourth downs is crazy. And I think that Tampa Bay, they better look in the mirror, or it's gonna be a long rest of the season, because you riding that, and again, they have the people to get out of that little funk that they're in. But if they don't, they can mess around and lose that division. I don't think they're gonna lose the division, but they can mess around and lose that division and be looking crazy in the face. Because one thing I know they don't want to do is play Dallas, the Rams, the Cardinals. They don't want to play none of them in the first round. You don't, or the Packers. They don't want to play any of those teams in the first round. So that defense, I mean, I already knew that their secondary stunk, but now it's just like, my God, they look bad. They look bad. And it's going
to be interesting in the NFC. It is wide open.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and the whole league. I mean, you look at Buffalo. Buffalo lost to Jacksonville and came back and destroyed the Jets. Like, I mean, the Jets look terrible. They look like a Pop Warner team. So
speaking of terrible, and on switch gears, the Brooklyn Nets. Now I know they've got I know they've got the third, the third seed in the Eastern Conference. See that game with the Warriors last night?
I saw the game. Well, I saw what was supposed to be a game. I don't know if you consider that to be a game, but I'm glad we're there. You know what? We're there. The Brooklyn Nets are in trouble. And I said this before. I'll say it again. The Brooklyn Nets are in trouble. And honestly, I don't think it's just a not having Kyrie thing. I think it's a number of things. I feel like the help ain't helping. The help isn't helping. That bench is supposed to. They're not putting up the production that they should be. And I don't know if Harden is still hurt from the knee injury, or if he's just out of shape. I don't know. But they. I don't know. And it's early, super early in the season. I think they played 15 or 16 games. And I just right now they not.
So you're almost a quarter of the way through. You're almost so you got to remember that they're almost a quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
And right now we're seeing that There's a lot of teams that are fighting. In the Eastern Conference, like we spoke on last week, we don't know how that's going to shape up because you got teams that are reemerged like Miami. Milwaukee has been hurt for most of the year, but they're going to be better. You got the Bulls that are there to stay. We'll talk about the Bulls. Yeah, the Knicks, they're just fighting. You got the Wizards, surprisingly, they're playing really good ball. Cleveland's playing really good ball. So it's a number of teams, and then you can't really count the 76ers or the Celtics or any of those teams really out until a little bit later in the season. So if you're looking at the Eastern Conference and you're looking at out west, because that's possibly, if they were to come out the East, the Warriors look like the team that could be potentially winning the West, with all intents and purposes. So if you're the GM of the Nets, you start to look at your team, right? So you said it. The help isn't helping. So the bench isn't getting it done. And then you got Kyrie Irving. And it's like, what do you do? Because clearly Harden, he's averaging 19 points a game. I mean, I do think that he'll get it together and he'll figure it out. Kevin Durant is still playing at MVP status. But if you're in charge of that front office, what do you do? Because you don't have enough to compete. I mean, well, you have enough to compete, but you don't have enough to walk away with a victory.
Right. Well, you said it. You got to make a. You will have to make a move if you feel like you can compete. And you could correct me if I'm wrong, but the Nets, they pretty much pushed all their chips to the middle of the table. I don't think that they're gonna just sit back in and just sit on their hands. I mean, if you got to make a move, you're gonna have to make a move. If that move is Kyrie Irving for Ben Simmons, you might have to do it. You might have to do it. The crazy thing is that both of them are all-stars and both of them are healthy, and neither one of them are playing for different reasons, of course. But I think you make that move if you can. Because I'm almost certain. I don't want to say I'm almost certain, but I just have a feeling that KD is like, man, listen, if that's what y'all want to do, then that's what y'all want to do, and it is what it is. Because, I mean, you
can only protect your friends so much, right?
Right.
And of course, KD is probably not going to want to come out and just say it. He's probably thinking, he won't. He's probably thinking it to himself, like, yo, this some bull. Like, we all came up here to play. And I mean, and he may not be thinking that way either. But all jokes aside, he's looking. And yesterday was a wake-up call, right? The Warriors are not going anywhere. In fact, the Warriors are probably going to get better when they get Klay Thompson back. Klay Thompson, he's doing the 5-on-5 drills. He's working out with the team. You got Wiggins, who, I mean, basically, for all intents and purposes, played really good defense on James Harden yesterday, which surprised me because, Wiggins, he couldn't guard himself before. So, the fact that he's playing good defense, and then you've got a new cast of characters out there that's coming off the bench that's really giving legitimate points. Draymond Green looks like he's playing better basketball. I mean, and with Steph Curry shooting the way that he is, the back cut is open all day. I mean, those guys are playing pick and roll, cutting to the basket,
right?
And it's going to be open because with Steph Curry, with the range that he's got and shooting the way that he's shooting, all eyes have to be on him. You can't afford to not be looking at what he's doing with the ball. And if you got Draymond, he's out there facilitating, and he's virtually moved back to being that glue guy. I'm not going to lie. The last couple of seasons, I felt like Draymond was a bum. I was like,
hold on. We can't just say that again, yo.
I felt like he was a bum the last couple of seasons. I mean, he did what he did.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he was essential to and not to take anything away from that guy. When all the stars were there, all the championships, they don't win championships without Draymond. But you're averaging 5 points and 4 rebounds and 5 assists, and you're starting and you're supposed to be the second guy. It was like, come on, Draymond. I would have expected, and maybe I felt a little bit differently with Klay Thompson hurt. And it was a point in time when Steph was hurt too, right? When both of them were pretty much out the lineup. I thought that Draymond was at least, I mean, heck, I didn't think he was going to average 30 points, but he could have got 15 or maybe even 12 in there. So, I mean, without those guys, he looked like some cold trash. And it's good to see him back into the fold again.
Right. So, all right, so we had last year we had Mike Ricks on.
Okay.
And he's a good friend of mine and yours in the show, right? But he might be the biggest critic of Draymond that I've ever seen. He called Mr. Triple Single, Quadruple Single, things of that nature. And I so
that's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, and it is, and I think that I think that Draymond's role is bigger than points, right? I don't think they don't need him to score, right? And if they're not there, he's like you say, he's a glue guy. He's the type of guy that can make life better for Steph, so he doesn't have to bring the ball up every damn time. He could bring the ball up. He plays deep. We all know that he's top 5, maybe top 3 defensive player in the league. So I mean, I think there's more to, and he's a leader. I think one of the biggest things that I saw was Wiseman was a rookie last year, and I mean, he was. You always seen him either getting on Wiseman or coaching him up, or being like a big brother. and I thought that was big, especially for somebody like Wiseman who's hurt right now. But if he's taking what Draymond is telling him and he's incorporating it into his game, you never know what they're gonna, because they still got to get him back, and they're about to get Klay back. So I never thought Draymond was a bum, I never thought that Draymond was a bum, but I did feel like Draymond was he thought he was bigger than what he was at one point. Right?
No. Yeah. I like where you going.
Yeah, because let's get one thing clear. KD is KD, Draymond is Draymond. Draymond will never ever, and he could have 3 different lives. He will never be confused with KD ever, right? So I think what was happening towards the last couple of years when KD was there, yeah, they were winning, but he felt like when he was like the 4th guy, and he wasn't getting
the 4th guy.
Yeah, he was. But he wasn't getting the love that he was getting before, right? And which makes sense. He was the one that led them to go get KD. But I think after a while
he got to get over that too, because
absolutely.
So to your point, you're right? Like he overvalued himself, and I think most of us that understand basketball is like, okay, in that system, what they're asking you to do, you're the best at, but don't ever get it twisted. You can get another Draymond to play with a KD, a Steph, and a Klay.
I don't know about that, Scott. I don't. Draymond does a lot for that team. Like, let's say even before KD got there, Draymond does a lot for that team.
He's a supreme role player, but there's other role players.
Name somebody. Name somebody. Give me just one person like Draymond that they could have that could do the same thing.
Okay, so one that's coming to mind, and he's not in the league no more. I feel like Lamar Odom could have did everything that Draymond was doing, and probably would have did it a little bit better.
Well, Lamar, I don't know. I don't quote me, but I don't know how good Lamar Odom plays defense. I'm not. I don't know if he's like a stopper like Draymond. He might be, but he's definitely a better offensive player than Draymond. Yeah. So I'll say this, and what a lot of people aren't talking about, I think it plays a huge role in why Golden State looks the way they do, and it's not Steph, is not Clay because he's hurt, and it's not even Draymond. I think it is Iguodala. I think them bringing Iguodala back is because he looks different. He doesn't look like the Iguodala that we saw the last 2-3 years. He looks like he's rejuvenated, you know. So
they have high basketball IQs. I mean, all of them know that they know that the back cut is going to be there. They know how to get to the rim. They know how to play without the ball. And I mean, that's what the Golden State offense is predicated on. You've got to have a high basketball IQ and know what to do. And when you got those guys clicking and they understand their roles and they understand the game, it opens up things for Steph, and they understand how Steph is going to open up things for them.
Right.
So it allows everybody to eat, and it keeps flowing. And I got to tip my hat to Steve Kerr because he's got everybody to buy in to that system. Iguodala, he's had an opportunity to step away and then come back and be like, you know what? This is what I got to do. Perfectly understand. This is the guy that I'm playing with. I'm ready to rock and roll. But so you got me racking my brain, right? Of another guy that could do what Draymond.
It's tough, yo. It's tough. So here's the thing. So you know who the other guy is? You know who the other guy is that could do what Draymond could do?
Julius Randle, but he's not. No. So I want to get the Julius Randle off. Go ahead.
You want to tell you who the person is?
Who?
Ben Simmons. It's Ben Simmons. It's Ben Simmons.
No, because Ben Simmons can't shoot better than Draymond. So the key is that position. You still got to be able to make an open shot because you're going to have a lot of open shots when you put that many shooters on around that spread the floor. You got to make that open shot. So Draymond.
But do you think if Ben Simmons was in Steve Kerr's system that they would force him to shoot and they would work on his shot? Because I feel like the Sixers have done Ben Simmons a disservice because they've ultimately babied him. Like they've babied him, and they didn't his first 3-4 years, even when he was hurt, they didn't force him to shoot the ball. Now it became he lost all his confidence last year. The guys were talking about him, and I think if you have somebody like Steve Kerr, who in his playing days was a shooter, you have Steph Curry, you have Clay, Draymond. Well, Draymond wouldn't be there, of course, but let's just say Draymond was there. They're forcing him to shoot. If they're in practice, they might damn near come to blows if he's not shooting the ball. And I think that's what's not happening in Philly. Now, I mean, it might be happening now, but it's too late now because
you couldn't bring him into that situation. His ego is too big.
In Golden State.
Yep, his ego is too big. I mean, you got a guy
that's better than you. You kind of swallow your pride, man.
I mean, you said this too, right? So you're talking about the swap for Kyrie, right? And you mentioned Ben Simmons' name.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know which is a tougher media. I guess that's a question for everybody that's listening or whoever's out there.
Mm-hmm.
The Philadelphia media or the New York media. If he can't handle the Philadelphia media, how's he going to respond to the New York media? I don't know which one is tougher, but I mean, they're pretty much on the same page, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and then the thing that we talked about with Iguodala, and we talked about with Draymond, and we talked about with that Warrior team is they play unselfish ball.
Right.
Everybody knows their role and they plays the role. Ben Simmons, he's going to have to come in there, and I mean, and that's a big hypothetical because I don't think he'd be going to the Warriors, but I don't think it'll work.
I mean,
Well, I mean, he's too good of a talent to not work, but I don't think it'd be as fluid.
We probably never know.
Yeah, we're never finding that out.
Never know.
Because I don't know what you would even have to give up to even get Ben Simmons.
Right, you'll probably have to give up Draymond.
Clay is at least in that. Yes, one of them two.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, probably Clay and Draymond.
Would you give up Wiggins
to get Ben Simmons?
Yeah, would you give up Wiggins?
I would definitely consider it.
Yeah, because so let's do a little talking, right?
Okay.
So Philadelphia doesn't need another big man because they've got two capable. So they probably wouldn't go for like Wiseman, but maybe a Otto Porter Jr. and a Andrew Wiggins.
For who? Ben Simmons?
Yeah, for Ben Simmons.
No.
You wouldn't do that?
No. Otto Porter. I mean, so here's the thing. Those guys are playing pretty good this season. Like Andrew Wiggins looks like a whole different ball player right now. And Otto Porter's hit some clutch shots. But the two of them for Ben Simmons, you probably got to give
you might have to throw in somebody else too. So I'm trying to think.
I mean, it's I don't know.
You got a guard that played yesterday.
They're not gonna do that because they want a superstar back. So it's gonna have to be, well, you ain't getting Steph. And you're not getting Clay. So the next closest thing is Draymond Green. And I highly doubt that they're gonna trade Draymond Green. They're not gonna trade anybody.
That pissed Steph off.
You said what?
That pissed Steph off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're gonna make any moves. I think we're just talking right now, and but with that being said, I got two things in regards to the Golden State Warriors. One, I still don't think they're coming out the West, and two, y'all probably gonna kill me for this, but I don't know if Steph wins MVP or if he keeps this up. I'm not gonna say he's gonna like go into the he's gonna start stinking, but I don't know if he will keep this pace up.
If Steph is not the MVP, who is?
That's a good question. I don't know. So there's guys that are playing well. Like I feel like if the Nets turn things around, KD will have a lot of consider. I mean, because if he doesn't lead the league in scoring, he's real close to the top. He might be top 3. I know he averages like 29 or something like that.
Let me ask you this.
Of course, the Joker's still in there, huh?
This might be blasphemy, but I want to say it anyway.
Oh boy!
If DeMar DeRozan keeps up what he's doing this season, should he be in consideration?
Yes. Because
I don't think it's a shot in hell that he'll win it. But he's playing good ball.
If the Bulls end up in first or second, and he's playing, and he just scored 35 and 38 like back-to-back nights in LA. I can't say that he wouldn't. I mean, I'm not saying that he will win it, but we're talking about in consideration, and he may be in consideration. By the way, Caruso is one of my favorite players to watch. I mean, Caruso does some things on the court like you're like, damn, because Like if you look at him off the court, you'd be like, I'm about to go against him. But he get on the court and he might dunk on you and have you looking stupid.
Is it the bald spot?
It's just that he's white. With all due respect, I mean,
is it the bald spot in the head?
A white guy with a bald spot, you know, you're not thinking, oh, this dude could jump out the gym or he could pass. Well, I would say he could pass like that, but
he gives you LA Fitness vibes.
Absolutely. But he ball, but
he'll ball, but he'll hoop.
You know, it's like, you know, I know the Lakers regret giving him up or letting him walk, right? But they kind of had to. But the Lakers would be a whole lot better right now if they had Caruso right now.
So the Lakers, do they figure it out, or is this a
yeah, absolutely. I mean, they barely had off season. They took the preseason for granted. I feel like the Lakers are gonna end up getting it together. I haven't written off the Lakers yet. I just
it wouldn't be smart to.
Yeah, a team with LeBron. So and LeBron is coming back, you know, to help right the ship. I don't think that the Lakers are going to be in trouble. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be a top 4 seed. They're going to avoid the Warriors at all costs in the first round or the second round. I think the Clippers are going to be who they are. I think the Clippers are overrated. You know, I'm not a fan of the Clippers. But yeah, man. So I think the Lakers figure it out. Before the season, I had the Lakers coming out the West. I know I changed my pick in the East, but I'm going back to what I said a couple weeks ago. I got Bulls Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm going to those games. Damn it, not all of them, at least one. Bulls Heat in the finals, man. Bulls Heat. I mean, in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I can see it.
I hope.
I am going to go Knicks versus the Bucks. Yep. Yeah.
The Bucks are like 11th in the East right now. They're not even.
They've had Middleton. They get Middleton back today, and you know, with them getting Middleton back, you got Holiday, and then they're gonna go on the run. The Bucks aren't going anywhere.
I can see that.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. I mean, people. I heard somebody today say, "Well, they're not going to make the playoffs." It's like, you idiot. Yes, they are going to make the playoffs.
They're absolutely going to make the playoffs.
They're going to make the playoffs. Now, will they be the first overall seed? No, but they're still the champions and you got to beat them. I mean, Phoenix is playing really good basketball right now. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, they got Ayton back yesterday. I mean, they're playing just lights out basketball. I think they're on like a 7-game winning streak.
I thought it was 9. Are you talking about the
9 games? Yeah.
So it's almost time for us to get out here, but I've had a question I've been thinking about for the last few days, and it has to do with the Denver Nuggets. They just got into another altercation with the Mavs. Do teams in the NBA think that the Denver Nuggets are soft?
Oh, they're absolutely soft. What do we call it? We call it like Gerber or baby food.
You saying they pre-chew baby food?
Yeah, of course they are, yo.
Wow. I mean, damn.
I mean, nobody is scared of a nugget. Is it a gold nugget or a McDonald's nugget? Like, it's a nugget.
The disrespect. So okay. So the Nuggets are soft. So you think that teams in the NBA think that the Nuggets are just a soft team?
I mean, they don't scare. I mean, so here's the deal, right? And I heard a lot of comments after we did the show last weekend. It was talking about, the Joker's brothers do MMA and the Joker might train with him and stuff like that. And all that might be true. You know, hell, I boxed downstairs. Like it really doesn't mean anything. I don't know, man. That type of stuff. Like when I see the Joker, I see a really good basketball player that you might be able to rough up.
Damn.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think that they wouldn't.
So you think guys are trying to? They pretty much teams are trying to bully them, like physically, just be physical with them, and they're gonna shake, and they're gonna not shake, but they're gonna crumble.
Yeah, I think well, not crumble, but I think that you've got to have some level of toughness in basketball, and I think that if teams feel like that they can try you mentally, or that they can foul you extra hard, and you're just going to sit there and you're not going to retaliate and you're not going to do anything, they're going to try to get that edge. I mean, you look at the Nuggets, right? And here's the deal. And I'm not being too hard on the Nuggets because, I mean, they're a really good basketball team, but they've been a really good basketball team for the last couple of seasons. And the expectations, like we hold LeBron to the expectations. We've held the Greek Freak to the expectations. I mean, the Joker, I mean, he's a legitimate MVP candidate. He was an MVP. At what point do we hold him accountable? Because he's got all the pieces. He's got the coach. He's got more than enough pieces to get it done. I mean,
Jamal Murray's been out this season, right?
Yeah,
he hasn't been back yet.
He still got some other pieces there, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so you're saying, that it's time to hold them accountable, and they soft. That's tough, Scott. I mean, what more do you want?
I mean, you're scared of them?
Who, me?
Yeah. So, like, if we used to go to Miami, right?
Right.
And we used to sit behind the little bro bench. You know what I mean? Like we would sit there, and the Joker came over there and stared Bam down and was gritting on him or something. You'd be scared?
No, we'd probably all be laughing like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah. You'd be scared?
No. I'm not scared of grown men. I'm a grown man myself. And I got muscles too. It ain't like he the only man. I mean, he got a dad bod. I mean, you know, I think when he makes a muscle, you know, I tell Xavier to make a muscle. You got, you know, a little something. His joint just like all forearm. so I think that no. I understand what you're saying, and no. I don't think anyone looks at them and say, I am physically scared of the Joker.
So let me ask you this though. How do you overcome that? So somebody thinks you're food. They think you're soft. They think you what can you do to shake that reputation?
Hey, I mean, at that point, it's a you gotta fight. Yeah, I mean,
you can't continue to hit people in their back when they're turning around.
I think that he out of that particular situation was just a he hit him and he reacted because and he reacted. I mean, I'm not saying that it was right, but I understand why he did what he did, and that was a act out of frustration. It wasn't a because Morris, let's not. I don't think people should just give Morris a pass because he was wrong in this situation. That was a cheap shot, you know. And let's be honest, that the game was, you know, they was getting their ass kicked. Miami was getting their ass kicked, and he hit him with in that, like, listen, when you get hit in your ribs or your kidneys, that joint ain't a pleasant sight or a pleasant feeling. So he just reacted immediately. It's not like Morris was facing him, and then he waited for him to turn around. Morris hit him and kept on running away like he didn't do anything. It's almost like he stole a cookie and put his hands behind his back, even though he got all these crumbs on his face,
So you're right. I give you that, because what in God's earth would make another man think that he could punch you in the ribs and cheap shot you and get away with it?
Right.
So yeah, you got a point.
And so initially I was like, man, if he had the ball in his hands, because he had just passed the ball, but if he had the ball in his hands, I would have launched that ball at his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he would have to hope that I miss. But so yeah, neither one of them were right in that situation. But I think that the Joker reacted out of frustration and didn't use any common sense, because common sense, probably he would have ran up on him, bumped him on his shoulder, not knocked him down, and got in his face like, yo, what the hell are you doing? And if he put his hands on him, then he put his hands on him, because you hit me in my ribs like that, because I know that joint hurt. I may bump you as I run past you, turn around and choke the crap out of you. But he didn't think about all of that. He just thought about, I'm about to hit this dude, and the dude just happened to have his back turned. And then you got what you got. But Morris was, he was rolling around like, come on, man. He was, God, he should have got win of the week just because of the way he was rolling around on the ground. So, but I like what I'm seeing this basketball season. I honestly do think that it is wide open. There's about over half the league that you can say are in contention, and it hasn't been like that even in the East. The East is, you got the Nets and you got the Bucks. That was the Eastern Conference Finals, right? No, the Eastern Conference Finals was the Bucks and the
and
Atlanta. But okay, you got Atlanta and the Bucks at 11 and 12. The Nets are 10 and 5, so they still up there. But the Eastern Conference finalists are not even in the play-in game yet. And I think they'll both get it together. But Indiana probably get it together. Boston and Philly, and then you got those top 6 teams. Who would have thought that the Cavs would have been the as good as they are so far this season? Because I didn't. I thought they were going to be a sleeper, but I didn't think that they were going to be a top 5 seed. Not even at this 15 game mark. So I like what I'm seeing this season out of the NBA, even though it's still early. Me, I'm like, talk to me after Christmas. That's when it really matters. And the funny thing is, Miami, the first year LeBron got there, they didn't really get it together until after Christmas. So right around Christmas. So we'll see what the Lakers do. I think they'll get it together though, and I still have them coming out the West.
That'd be all right.
Yeah. So, all right, man. I think it's time to get out of here. Next week again, we're gonna have some of our guys on here. Have Marcus on here. Have Jamal up here. Maybe have some other people. Join us and talk some more NFL and see where we at. I gotta go do some research, because I do think that most of my picks, because it was only one person out of the 4 of us that said Tennessee would be a number 1 seed. It was one of us that said Tennessee. Didn't Tennessee and Kansas City play already? They played already, right?
Oh, so I was off on Tennessee. I picked Tennessee, but I might have been bullied into picking them. So I was wrong there. And then I was wrong with the Ravens.
Where did you have the Ravens?
I had the Ravens not making the playoffs.
Oh yeah, you definitely was wrong there.
Yeah, I was wrong. Now I think I gotta go back and watch the episode. I'm pretty much wrong on every pick.
Not everyone. You got the Cowboys right.
Yeah, the Cowboys.
And look, and it's not. So here's the crazy thing. So the seventh seed in the NFC are the Panthers. Right after them are the Eagles. And right after them, the Eagles and the Panthers have the same. I mean, the Eagles and the 49ers have the same record. It is far from over. The 49ers could still make a run and make it to the playoffs, and the Eagles or the Panthers. It's a lot of teams fighting for those final two playoff seeds, final three playoff seeds. No, two. It's two, right? Yeah. 7 teams. That extra. So the final 3, 5, 6, 7. So we'll see, man. But this is off the record. You got anything else, Joe? I think I'm about done. I gotta get something to eat. I'm hungry. So, all right. But this is off the record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B.
Scott about to fall asleep on the air, y'all. Don't believe the hype. Nah.
Yeah, you the one about to fall asleep.
I am.
I don't know how good. I gotta get something to eat.
I gotta get something to eat. I gotta get some.
Go ahead, Mr.
Wow.
Go ahead.
It be your own people, man. Your own people taking shots, man. All right. This off the record again. I'm Anthony Adebayo. That's grimy ass Scott. I mean, no, we out of here. We out of here.
Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo, and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.